All right, guys. So we got Tyler on. He's been on in the past. Tyler, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. We're going to talk some more college football. We didn't. He wanted to get to the MAC. We did not get to the MAC, but at the end of this, we are going to predict Ball State's over under. They're at 5 right now, which seems pretty low to me. But we'll see what all four of us think. But anyways, Jordan, we're gonna make some college football playoff picks, right?
Yes. So the playoffs. This is the last year of the 14 playoff before obviously it is expanded to 12. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. With the number one team in the country, I gotta have Georgia, right? I think they're gonna go 12-0, win the SEC, finish 13-0. The only team I could see maybe overtaking them at the end of the season is my number two seed, who happens to be Michigan, only because they would have a stronger resume, right? With wins over Ohio State and Penn State if they happen to finish 13-0. With my number three seed, this might be a little controversial, but I have the Texas Longhorns. Texas was my pick to win the Big 12, and I think that they're in for a great year. And with my fourth seed, I'm going to be picking Penn State. I think that they knock off Ohio State, finish 11-1, and we have chaos in the Pac-12 and Big 12, opening the door for the Nittany Lions to make the college football playoff for the first time. So that brings me to Georgia Penn State in the Sugar Bowl, and I got to go with my dog. I just think that Georgia is going to be way too much for Penn State. And in the Rose Bowl, I believe it is, I got the Michigan Wolverines and Texas Longhorns. I'm going to be picking Michigan to finally get over the hump and win a playoff game, setting up what we really wanted to see last year with Georgia and Michigan in the national championship game. And I think the experience of Georgia leads to the three-peat. So give me the dogs to win another national championship. Evan, what do
Okay.
you have?
So first of all, Texas isn't actually that crazy, I don't think, because if they go undefeated in their conference, they're going to make it. And if they go undefeated in
Crazy.
general. But what I will say, Penn State over Ohio State and well, you had Michigan in too, but if Penn State loses to Michigan, I don't think they're going to get in. But that's an out there prediction. I give that to you. I'm going to go boring, and what I think is the last normal season of college football. I mean, all the like I know UCF and all them joined the Big 12 this year, so it's already changed a little bit. But especially 2024, everything's going to change. So, and it's going to be a different college football. But I'm going to go boring. I'm going to go Alabama as the one seed. I think I already predicted they're gonna beat Georgia. I already predicted that, so I'm going to stand with it. I got Ohio State with their talent is going to go to number two. I got Georgia at 3. They'll still be strong. Alabama, their only loss, and then and then a lot of thumbs down. But I think it's going to be the reality. And I think you got Clemson will sneak in. I think Clemson will rebound. Jay, okay, this one I'm going to object to with your thumbs down. Miami had their chance for 2 years. Clemson was down, and you had your
Yeah.
chance. So I don't want to hear it. But I got the boring all around. Clemson sneaks it out for us. So you got Clemson, Alabama in the first round. Give me Alabama, and then Ohio State versus Georgia. Georgia will still beat them. So at Georgia, Alabama, Natty again. It's hard to beat a team twice. Georgia three-peat. Yeah, so you better stop thumbs down at me. But anyways, all right, Tyler, what do you got?
All right, so I'm gonna switch mine up just a little bit. So as of right now, I'm gonna have as my one seed Michigan. Michigan is my one seed. My
Fair.
two seed is gonna be Georgia. The three seed, this is gonna be a bit of a shocker. They haven't really been mentioned at all this year. It's USC, the Trojans. And then at my four seed, I'm gonna have the Buckeyes. Well, actually, no, that can't work. Would it not work? Um,
That could be decided.
yeah. So yeah, if as of right now, I'm gonna have Michigan, Georgia, USC, and Ohio State. If that could work. Um, in the rematch of the big game, I'm gonna have Michigan winning against Ohio State, and then the 2-3, I'm gonna have I'm actually gonna have Georgia winning, and then I'm not gonna have a repeat for the Dogs this year, so it's gonna not be a three-peat. They're losing. They can't do three in a row. There's no chance. I just don't
It's
think they
tough.
can.
I don't know about no
I
chance.
will.
By the way, that was a good comment about USC because I think if they go undefeated, they might have a stronger resume than Texas. But
Yeah.
anyways, Jake, what you got?
Yeah, I think my top four is going to surprise a lot of people. I think two Pac-12 teams are going to make it. I think Georgia actually falls off. I think Carson Beck. I know again I'm wearing the Georgia shirt, but I think Carson Beck falls off of this Georgia team, and I think they take a big step off. So without further ado, the number one seed I got is Tennessee. I'm predicting them to win the SEC, so they're the number one seed for me. Number two seed. Number two seed comes in at Washington. I think the Huskies have a nice schedule, and I think they go 11-1 at
I
best.
know you're big on their
I think they
quarterback.
make it. Yeah, I'm big on Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah.
I think number three seed, I think Jordan Travis, steps up big for the Florida State Seminoles this year. I think they win the ACC, and I think they get into the playoffs. And then the four seed is the second Pac-12 team I have, which is Oregon. Bo Nix, think he
Is this March
think
Madness or
think
college
Oregon
football? But no,
sneaks
no.
in.
Yeah. No,
Think
I'm kidding.
Oregon
Yeah,
sneaks
no.
in.
Solid, yeah.
So
At least a
anyway,
little off the grid, but
Washington, Tennessee in the first round. I have the Volunteers winning that one, advancing to the college football playoff, championship game. Oregon, Florida State in the second round. I got Oregon outlasting Jordan Travis and the Florida State Seminoles offense, and they'll advancing to the championship game. And it's going to be Tennessee and Oregon. Now, with this game, Joe Milton and Bo Nix, both great quarterbacks. Both are gonna. I think this is gonna be a very high scoring game. But in the end, give me Bo Nix to go out on top. Give me Oregon to win.
All
all
right.
right. So, all right.
A
So
little
to
bit off the
recap,
grid, but hey.
all right. So to recap, two of us have Georgia three-peating. Evan and I do. Jake has Oregon beating Tennessee in the national championship game. Um, and Tyler has Michigan beating Georgia in the national championship game. Am I correct, guys?
All right, yes,
Yes.
we're all on the record. So let's do a couple non-conference games. Sure.
All right. Evan, I'll let you start.
Okay. So the two that kind of, I mean, when we did our previews, we mentioned a lot of these. But these are, powers facing each other from different conferences. So two I'm looking forward to. Obviously, Alabama and Texas. I know that's the big one. I'm sure you guys will mention that. I got LSU at FSU week one is going to be a huge game. Especially
Mhm.
both of those teams have similar expectations. I think LSU might be a little more polished, especially on the offensive side. Florida State is more hype based, it's recruiting based. But at FSU, that would be a wild environment. And then I got Tyler's wearing the shirt. Florida at Utah is going to be an interesting game too, right off the bat. I think a lot of people, Utah won the Pac last year. A lot of people have high expectations for them. But Florida, they're still a middle ground SEC team is still a pretty good team. So that's gonna be an interesting one too. Those are the two I'm looking most at.
All right, Tyler, we'll go to you. What you got?
Probably the two most out of conference ones I'm looking forward to. Obviously, the Florida Utah game. We beat them last year with that big pick six or the big interception at the end of the game to win the game. We're only a 5-point underdog in this game, so obviously don't look too far past the Gators. And then another game I'm really interested in is the UNC South Carolina game. That was a pretty good game a couple years ago when they played it in Charlotte. UNC is the 2.5-point favorite, but I think South Carolina could do a little damage this year, and they might come out with winning this game.
All right, Jake, what you got? Non-conference game.
Yeah, I don't really think this is a big game everyone's looking forward to, but it marks the start of college football, so I think people are looking forward to this game. It's going to be Navy Notre Dame on Saturday. Um, like I said, amongst the start of college football, I think people are looking forward to it. And that Florida Utah game, I'm also looking forward to. How will Graham Mertz respond? Will Cam Rising come out of the tunnel for Utah? How will Utah respond after throwing that pick six late last year to lose the game? And I think the other game that no one has brought up, and I'm surprised, is Alabama and Texas. Um,
There you
so
go. Keep going. I think Jordan
I
might have
think
wanted
this
to. I
is
think Jordan might have wanted to say that one, but
yeah, I think Jordan Gig. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Um I think Alabama will come out on top though.
All right, first, let me Let me just say that I disagree with the high-scoring game at Alabama, Texas. I think that Alabama will come out and try to establish the run game, right? Like I said with the SEC preview, kind of turn back the clock, if you want to call it that. Keep it low scoring. But at least one non-conference game that I'm looking forward to happens week 2 in Lubbock, Texas, when the Oregon Ducks make the trip down to play Texas Tech. This Texas Tech team is not to be slept on. And if Oregon's not careful, they're going to catch a loss early on in the season. So that game is interesting to me. And also,
Any more?
who's got no?
No? Okay. I think that's a good slate. So finally, we'll get to Ball State, and that's where Tyler goes. If you guys didn't know, I think we've mentioned that on past episodes. Their over-under win total is 5. To me, like I said at the beginning, that seems pretty low, but we'll go to Tyler first on that. Over, under, how you feeling about Ball State this year?
I'm feeling the over, but only by like 1 or 2 games, honestly. It's good enough to make a bowl game, which I'm perfectly content with. I've seen a lot of things where they're having us finish 4th in the MAC this year, which is shocking, but like I'm not complaining. So
Yeah. So I look at their schedule, and I just want to get your thoughts on this. Since you've rooted for them, you went there last year. Kentucky, they're probably not going to win that. Georgia, they're going to win. I'm just kidding, guys. They're not. You never know, though. College football is interesting. So probably not Kentucky, probably not Georgia. You got Toledo coming to Ball State. Toledo's been a very good team. That's going to be a tough game for them, too. But what about the opportunity games? Because you play teams like Bowling Green, you probably should win that game. What do you any make or break ones?
I'm looking at the end of the year, the last 2 games. Kent State comes to Ball State, and then Miami, Ohio comes to Ball State. Those 2, if we win those games, we'll be looking solid coming into them. Especially the NIU game 2 weeks before that too. Those last 3 games of the season are going to be huge for us. Coming into the later the season, it can really go a long way to see if we can make a ball game at all.
Yeah, the MAC is a high, like Northern Illinois kind of has that Northwestern thing where they'll be really good one year and then they'll just completely suck another. But you make a good point about the 2 home games too, especially if you can at least get to 4 and 6, then you win those 2 home games, you get to a bowl. So, all right, we'll go around really quick. I'm going to say I'll agree with Tyler. I'm going to say over, but not by much. Probably like maybe 6 wins. But Jake, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the over too. I think Ball State will make a bowl game, but I think only 6 or 7 wins. I don't think they're gonna win like 8 or 9. Jordan.
I'm going to go with actually 8 wins. I think that they might actually upset Kentucky. So Evan mentioned that college football is unpredictable, and I'm going to pick Ball State to upset Kentucky. I am.
That'd be nice
for the Commanders.
That'd be nice for the MAC because the MAC stuck together while all these other conferences have realigned. So you know what? Let's go MAC. That's what I'm saying. But Tyler, it was good having you on. We'll see you again soon. All right.
All right. See you all soon.
Appreciate you, Tyler.